So basically, you guys know what is testing, but so what is an automation testing? So manual testing, it's straightforward, right? So they'll use some scenarios from BA, and you'll be writing test cases and executing them manually. The only difference that automation testing differs from manual is you'll be doing the same manual effort just by replacing that effort with the code.
Okay.
So the major advantage of automation testing. So let's say I don't just want to read what's there on the slide. So I'll just give you one generic example. So most of the companies are deploying features to customers like every week or every 2 weeks. And there are companies who deploy every day too. So every day, technically, knowingly or unknowingly, you'll be seeing a new feature.
Yeah.
Before releasing something, so they'll be running so QA will be running regression test cases, right, on multiple platforms or multiple browsers, multiple browser versions. It could be iOS, whatever it is. So for a manual test, it's very hard to do all these things, right? So if you write code once, so you can run the same code on different platforms. So that is a major advantage of automation that will save you a lot of time and cost. And usually human tend to avoid tedious efforts, right? So if you're, let's say, testing some flow, so after doing it 2 or 3 times, you'll get bored and somehow you'll miss something. So, but when you look at the code, it won't miss something. So whatever you write, it will be running like as many times as you want. So that is why most of the industries are depending on automation testing for their applications. And as you know, today we'll be covering Selenium. So I'm just going to give you the basic guide on what is Selenium IDE. Basically, Selenium is an open source, but Selenium IDE is a plugin that has been provided to Firefox. So this is one of the first tool that Selenium has developed, and it has been integrated as a plugin in Firefox. So now these days nobody is using it, but that is how Selenium has started. And Selenium WebDriver, this is one of the most popular automation tools that currently in the market. So basically how it communicates with the browser. So it uses an API. API is nothing but, have you heard about terms like REST, SOAP and all this?
Yes.
Okay, so basically it uses REST protocol. So it sends a request to browser, and with some Selenium commands like clicking an element, it sends a request to the browsers asking, click on this particular button. So it clicks and sends you the response back.
Okay.
So that's how Selenium communicates with different browsers. And one advantage of Selenium WebDriver is you can use any programming language: Java, JavaScript, Python, C#. So even if you look at most popular or most recent tools, Protractor and this one, WebDriver IO, they are all based on Selenium and Appium APIs, right? So it's different languages. So even if you're good at one language, you can still automate anything.
Okay.
But it does have some limitations. Like Selenium is basically browser testing or mobile browser testing tool. So you cannot definitely interact anything with within desktop applications or something like that. And sometimes when you have to upload something, so you cannot technically interact with that. So for that, they have some integrations like Robot.js, robot class, and actions class. So Java supports all this. So technically, you can use that to leverage that limitation.
Okay.
And the major advantage of Selenium, as I mentioned before, you can automate in any language, and you can automate any browser. and it's an open source, and you have a lot of help. If you have any question, you can just go to any community based on Selenium to get the help on any issues. And since it's most popular tool and most of the industry people are using it, so if you have any question, they might have already reproduced it and they'll provide you the solution in somewhere like Stack Overflow or something like that. And this
Okay.
integrated with Jenkins for scheduled runs and delivery. And biggest disadvantage with Selenium WebDriver is image comparison. So still somebody have to do manual testing on application for UI layouts and all this. And you should be technical in any of the given programming or scripting languages. So considering that is actually not a disadvantage, but it's very hard to find people in QA with more technical thing. So that's why they consider this as an con. And this is the architecture diagram of how Selenium communicates with the real browsers. So you write a code and it uses JSON-WINE protocol, which is a key value pair. So which I'll be explaining you in the next slide. So basically it uses, okay, browser type is Chrome, and you say with number of instances, something like that. It uses a key value pair. And when you invoke, let's say Chrome, so you say WebDriver is equal to new Chrome driver or new Firefox driver, something like that, right? So it is an interface. So the REST API takes all this body, all these payloads and everything, and communicates to the real browser and get the response back, saying if the element is there, it will show you 200 response, and the element is there, something like that. If it is not there, it will throw you an error. So everything will be communicated with the REST APIs. So as I mentioned, JSON is nothing but it's a key value pair. So if you look at REST APIs, so the request payload and response payload uses JSON protocol. And this is also, I think I have covered. Okay, and now Selenium Grid. So Selenium Grid is nothing but, so if you take some example clouds like Perfecto, Sauce Labs, Browser Stack, these are all Selenium grids or cloud. So the way they do it, they have a hub, which could be a main computer, you can call it as. So there you'll be installing the Selenium grid with the role hub. And you can also install, you can also set up as many nodes or as many computers as you want with the same by taking the IP of the hub and registering it as a node. So let's say my computer is a hub, and Aditya's computer is a node which has a Chrome browser support and Firefox support, and Netra's machine is one node and which has mobile support and Safari, let's say Safari support. When a user runs a test, he will connect that hub URL as a Selenium address. So the request goes to hub, and hub decides based on the capability that user wants, like, okay, I want to run my test in Safari. So when hub receives that request, it knows which node has that Safari. So it directs that request to that node which has the Safari browser, and the test runs from there. And the biggest advantage of using this is like parallel execution is possible, as many instances as we can, as we configure. And this is test automation pyramid. This is how most of the companies follow. So when developer develops a code, they do unit testing from their side. And when it comes to QA, so they do manual, and also they do API testing. Because let's say even if you take 50-60 APIs, you can run all the API suite in like 5 to 10 minutes max, because it doesn't involve UI, just a request and getting the response and validating it. And UI automation takes a while to finish testing and finish running the scripts and stuff like that. So that is why it is kept in the least, but still it makes an impact to the application, because this is the one that tests the functionality. And now, if I want to run a Selenium using Java, so what I need to have in my computer? You need to have a Java and JDK, and also you can use any of the editor, Eclipse or IntelliJ. So I prefer IntelliJ because that is the latest one. And you can create a project using Maven or Gradle. So in the example I'm going to show you, I'm using Gradle. So, and you need to install Selenium and other dependencies to run the test cases that I'm going to show you. Okay. So now I'll explain you a little bit on the code. So I've created a TestNG project named TestNG, and it's a Gradle project. So you can see these are all my dependencies. I have Selenium, I have TestNG, I have APM, I have JSON simple to parse from the JSON file. So for now, these are all not required for the demo I'm showing. So I just need Selenium libraries, and it's already installed.
Yeah.
These are all Selenium library. It's all installed. And I'm just gonna show you a simple demo running the same test case on Chrome and Firefox. So first I'm gonna run the code on Firefox. It's a simple test. It opens a Google page and types something called Selenium and validates that we entered the correct one. See, so I'm entering the key as Selenium, and I'm making sure the value entered is Selenium. I'm printing what we have entered in the input field. So the printed text entered is Selenium. So I'm going to do the same thing using Chrome this time. So one thing we need to know, so if we are running something on our local, we need to set up environment variables, one for Chrome and one for Firefox or IE or Edge, Safari, anything. So this will invoke Chrome and run the same test in Chrome. Yeah, this is just the basic flow. And now I'm going to show you what I'm going to be covering in my course. So I'll definitely spend 1 hour on testing methodologies and how Agile works and all these things, because that is important. That is very important. And you'll get some interview questions from that too. And core Java concepts are also essential to start working on Selenium, since we are using Java as a programming language for Selenium. And we will be covering the core components of Selenium and robot class and everything. And you can choose any of the frameworks. Either it could be TestNG or Cucumber. Cucumber is also one of the recent frameworks people are using in the market. And it's very easy compared to TestNG. And one of the build tools like either Maven or Gradle, and Git, and 1 hour on Jenkins, like setting up a Jenkins project and running from there. So